All right, today I want to talk about are you an imitator or an innovator? And this goes back to the question of how are we building our business? Are we building our business based on other people's possible success, or are we building our business on who we are and what we want? Hi, my name is Ron Deering, and today I want to take you on another level. Some of the things that we may be talking about today may not sit right with a lot of people, but I think it's true. I've been doing this on and off for 50 years, and I've had a lot of failures and had some successes, but I've learned a lot. And you can hardly not gain wisdom after all the years that you do something. So let's just dive into it. First off, I think one of the things that really I have found over the years that really is a struggle with people is the fact that they're kind of always in that comparitis mode. Right? They're always in that place where they're comparing success of other people and that are doing maybe in the similar industry that they're in and so forth, or they're online digital marketers or whatever it might be. But they've got that comparitis. And there are a couple of things I want to talk to you about that real quick, just so you understand that. First off, it it's okay to kind of see what's going on with the competition, but if you let that overtake you, if you let that overwhelm you, if you let that make the decisions on where you go, then I think you're making bad decisions. I think you're going down a wrong path. First off, we have no idea. I see this all the time. People all over TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and all these things, all these fast growing, especially TikTok. I think is the biggest one of that. And claiming all these claims and oh, do what I do. Let me show you how I made 12,000 my first 3 days in the business and on and on and on. And I'm not saying that that's bad necessarily, although I do think it is. But probably 9 out of 10 people really aren't having that success, and there's no way for you to know. You can say, well, yeah, I've talked to that person. They really, but what are they going to do? Say, no, no, don't tell anybody. I really haven't made any money, or I'm not making that much money, but I don't want to know. I'm kind of faking it till I make it. So you really don't know. And from my experience, dealing with people and working with people and finding out really the truth behind a lot of these things, they just aren't. They're just not making it. Okay, but let's take that 10%. Let's take that 10% that say are really doing what they say they're doing, really are bringing some income in there. Then the question begs itself: what makes you think that that's going to work for you just because it worked for them? It probably won't. There's a good chance it won't, and it may, right? And the last thing is let's say that you've gotten hooked up with one of those 10% that actually are having the success they claim they are, and you do what they do, and you have that success. So now, what differentiates you from them? You look just like them. You look exactly like what they're doing. So when they go by the wayside, and these people come and go, we all seen it. We've all been involved with it. We've all had it happen. When they come and go, you're going to come and go, right? So I would just encourage you, and I would caution you. It's okay to kind of look at what's going on out there, just to stay abreast of what's happening in that, but don't let that make the decisions on what you do. Okay. And when I talk about this, there are people out there copying people's pages. They see their funnel and they do their funnel exactly, or they see something that they've done on TikTok and they do that exactly. They maybe change a few little things here and that. The other thing is trends. You see it all the time, especially again on TikTok. Social media has got this down pat because all these trends. Yo, do this. Look, at I got 6 billion views overnight on this, and it isn't it doesn't become a successful trend anymore if everybody's doing it, right? It makes it a trend, but it doesn't mean that it is working for everybody. And again, I see this all the time. People start following this, and then you see them in groups saying, "Yeah, I did exactly what they did, and it just didn't work for me." Why is that? Okay, I love what Earl Nightingale says. If you don't have a successful model, or if you don't know who Earl Nightingale is, um, look him up. He's well worth. He no longer is alive. He was involved with. I think he had. Uh, what's his name? The guy that wrote Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, worked with him for a while, and so. But he's very very famous in his time. But he said, if you don't have a success model, look around at what everyone else is doing and do the opposite. And I love that. Look at what everybody else is doing. Look at all the trends and do the opposite. Right? So, how can we stop this? How can we get away from that copycat kind of mentality and so forth? Because we tend to just go down that, and I understand. I've been involved with that, or I've been captured with that. Jumping on board because so and so did it, and I've even been involved in teaching it. Hey, this worked for me. You should try it. And the reality is, I believe there, and I heard this the other day, and I like these four things. Okay, I believe Graham Cochran was the one that I heard it from, but I do agree with him. First thing is that there's four things you need to pay attention to. Okay, one is you need to pay attention to your audience. Just because somebody else is doing something, and I get this with my coaching clients all the time. Well, hey, can we do it kind of like such and such? They seem to be having really success. Well, we can, but as long as you understand up front that that has no bearing on your success, right? Just because they're having success and we do it like that, and you change everything and you become, their little, mini me, doesn't mean that's going to be successful for you at all, right? And most likely it's not. You need to pay attention to your audience. What is your audience, no matter how small it is, what is your audience telling you, right? You're out there speaking to some number of people, audience, customers, whoever it might be. What are they telling you? What are the things that they're going through? What are the challenges that they're having? Okay, pay attention to those things, because those are the things, when you know what they are and you conform everything you're doing to meet the needs and the challenges that your audience is having, that's when your success will skyrocket, right? Your lead magnets, your masterminds, your YouTube videos, your content on social media, and so forth, okay? That's number one. Pay attention to your audience. Number two is pay attention to your own dreams. Make sure that you're going down a path that you really want to go down. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people and they've asked for my advice on things, and I try to tell them that, hey, this is what I do, but it may not be what you want to do. I get up at 3 o'clock every morning, and I work most of the day until 6, 7 o'clock at night. And I'm putting out content. I used to write blog posts all the time, and I remember a good example was back in 2009. I think it was 9 or 10. I started a blog, and I started writing blog articles just about every day, right? And by 2017, I had one of the most popular. It was like number 17 in the world of blogs that were based around kind of network marketing and online businesses and stuff. But it was a lot of work. And I remember talking to a number of people that I was working with at the time, and they were asking me, well, what do you do? Well, you got to start a blog. You got to start, writing articles and everything. You're like, yeah, nah, I don't really want to do that, right? Even though they knew that I had success with it, they were smart enough to know that it wasn't something that they wanted to do, right? So pay attention to your own dreams and where you want to go and how you want to build your business and what you want to do, right? There is no, I shouldn't say this explicitly, there's no right or wrong way, but there really isn't any right or wrong way as long as you stay within the legal issues and integrity and so forth. But when it comes to actually, well, do I do it through social media? Do I do it through here? Do I do it through blogging or YouTubing or whatever I do? They all have. I guarantee you that we can find someone that has tried any one of those platforms, any one of those methods, or anything like that, and have had success. But with every one of those people that we've found that use those, that have had success, I can find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds that have done the same thing and not had success, right? So pay attention to what you want to do. Okay, that's number two. Number three is pay attention to your soul. Pay attention to the things that make a difference for you. Things that, in your heart that that you want to be a part of. Don't compromise those things. Don't just do something. It's like for me, I am just not a fan of TikTok. I don't like what it stands for. I don't like a majority of the content there. And I know there are people out there that make money all over it. I know there are people that are good friends of mine that think TikTok is amazing and all that stuff, and that's okay. I, for my moral belief and everything else, don't want to have anything to do with it. So I don't, right? And if someone came to me and said, Ron, man, I did this TikTok thing, and man, you got to do it. You got to get on TikTok, and you got to do this, and you got to make videos, and you got to be a part of it, and everything else, because you're going to make a lot of money. Um, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to tell them, hey, look, I'm not going to do that. I tried it for a little bit. Don't get me wrong. It's not because I don't know what's going on there. I tried it for a little bit. I started a TikTok channel. I put up a half a dozen or a dozen videos and went from 0 to 1,400 people like overnight, like 2 or 3 days. And so it's not that I couldn't do it. It's not that I couldn't have that kind of success and everything else. But that's not my soul, my heart, my spirit. That's not who I am. That's not what I want to do. Do I have anything against the people that do that? No, no. But I don't let my grandkids watch it or anything else either. So I don't just make that an issue because it's more work than I want to do and I don't want to do all those things. No, it's a moral stance that I take and that I just don't want to be a part of. Right? And it does. It's not just in business. I don't, like I said, don't let my grandkids watch it. No, their parents might, but when they're at my house, they don't. Right. So pay attention to your soul. Okay. And last but not least is pay attention to your top customers. Even if you've only got half a dozen customers, if there's a couple that are really shining in that, pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. You would be amazed at the insight they have, not only about you, but about the content that you put out there, about what you do, how you react on camera, maybe, what they love about your videos or your TikTok or Instagram reels or whatever it is. Pay attention to them. Don't be the cookie cutter stamp of everybody else. Just because everybody else is doing this, I would encourage you to do exactly the opposite, right? You're not going to see me on TikTok. I have a very small, my Instagram thing is about 3,800 people. I don't know, I got probably 10,000 on Facebook because I built organizations on that years ago because I fell into that trap. I fell into that trap of, yes, everybody else is doing it. This is the way to do it. They're having success. And when you really truly look at it, with the people that are having that success, it's really a very, very small number that are actually using these things and putting money in their pocket. Okay. Now, again, with TikTok, whether you agree with the politics or anything else, there's a good chance it's going history if you're in the United States. And I feel bad because I know a lot of people are using that as their primary form of income and so forth. So here's my admonishment to you all: certainly don't pick a platform that is questionable about whether it's even going to be around or allowed to be used in the country you're in as your only form of income or marketing and traffic generation and so forth. So, but again, everybody jumped on it. Everybody jumped on it. And so everybody's doing it. Okay, that's great. But be sure that you pay attention to these four things. Be sure that instead of just doing it because and being that lookalike, everybody looks like I had to look at TikTok the other day. I was just watching it on my screen because I wanted to kind of verify if my thought process was correct, and then hearing Graham Cochran today, I think it was this morning, talk about this also, but it just reconfirmed that it's like everybody looks the same. Everybody's doing it. It's like, oh, you see one person that does something, then all of a sudden you see 30 people doing exactly the same thing, right? Tweaking a little bit and everything, but they're just it just looks the same and same. And some of those people I know, and some of them are struggling. It's not working for them. Very few of the people that I do know that are doing it are having any kind of real success. and obviously that's frustrating. They struggle with that and so forth. Um, and be careful of that. You're not doing it just because you fell into the trap that I did years ago. It was just lazy. I just wanted a quick, easy way to do it, right? Um, if you want a good, quick, easy way to do it, stay tuned on my channel in a couple of days. I'm going to be doing a YouTube video on basically work less, connect more, right? Or impact more. Because you don't have to be a workaholic to make good money and do the right thing, right? There are people on YouTube that I heard about a lady yesterday that she's only got 500 subscribers and she makes $30,000 a month, right? Now again, that's great. Am I going to go? Oh, okay, I got to do exactly what she does? No, but there's concepts and principles behind the things that make sense, right? It's not like I'm going to say, well, yeah, they're using gravity, and I'm just not going to use gravity. There are certain things that are tried and true. Right? They're like giving value and building kind and creating content and so forth. The things that aren't are the people that are following these big trends, that, oh yeah, use this song or use this. And then you see, 10,000 people using the same thing. And out of those 10,000 people, 10 people have any kind of success. And when I say success, I mean that what they're doing is putting money into their bank account. Okay. That to me is success. Now, some people create or define success in a lot of different ways, right? Well, for me, success is, impacting people's lives. That's great, everything. But when you're out there watching people, I would promise you that someone doesn't look at this person who says, I can show you how to make $1 million in the next year. Da, 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 follow me, do this, do exactly what I'm saying. They're not sitting back going, yeah, I'm going to follow that person because I don't care about the money. I don't want to make the money, right? They're doing it because they want to increase their lifestyle and have a better lifestyle. And maybe, but money only makes you more of what you already are. So if you can use that money to help more people and help people in your family and help maybe some countries or some local communities that are, struggling with food and things like that and everything, that's great. That's great. All that's what we should be doing. That's a given, in my opinion. That's what we should be doing, right? It should be about others, not ourselves. But at the end of the day, it's you're being drawn in because of the trend of doing this and everybody's doing it, right? And you have no idea if that person's made a dime. And and in all reality and honesty, over the years, I have asked people, "Would you mind showing me your back office?" And there are some people out there. One of my good friends, and that he has no problem saying, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Come here, let me share my screen. Here it is. Here's what I make. You can see exactly what I'm doing. Here's my statistics. Yeah, yeah, right here they're not that good, and so forth." 98% of the people say, "No, no, no, no. I can't. I really can't do that." Right? Well, they can, and legally it's perfectly not only fine, but pretty much required them if they're saying they made a bunch of money and they are not verifying it or qualifying it. So, but those people, when that happens, and I ask those questions, then I'm not rude or mean to them, but I understand right off the bat that, okay, if you don't want to show me what you've made, then you understand that I can't believe that you really have made it just because you said you have, right? So, um, and the other thing is, and I was talking to someone the other day, and they didn't understand this, but I want to know how many people you've helped. If I'm gonna join up with you, and I wanna learn what you're doing, and I wanna have success like you're having success. I don't care how much money you make. The amount of money that you make has no bearing on the amount of money I'm gonna make. Okay, once you understand that with people, just because someone made $1,000 their first month in a business doesn't mean you're gonna make $1,000. In all my years of network marketing, in one of the last companies I was in, I rank advanced 6 ranks in 19 days. And I had people coming on and saying, "Well, yeah, but are you having success? What do you make?" You know, they always wanted to know how much money I made. And I said, "Well, let's not base it on how much money I make, because I don't want you to get any indication that because I made $10,000 my first month, you're going to make 10,000, or I'm going to give you some of my 10,000, or anything like that." So let's talk about what you want to do. Okay, let me tell you about the people that I've helped make some money. Doesn't matter how much I've made, but it does matter if I can help someone else make it. If I can help 5 people make $1,000 a month, would you like to be the sixth? That's the important question I want to ask people. That's the important question you should be asking. I don't care how much money you've made. You've made great money. That's great. But have you taught anybody else to make money? Because I'm coming to you. I want to be my own hero. If you've read the Story Brand by Donald Miller, you know what I'm talking about. But and I want you to be my guide. I want you to be the person to guide me to get to where you are. Not you know just because you've made the money. I want to make sure that I'm not going to join a team that's got a coach, a sports team that's got a coach that's got a losing record year after year after year after year after year, right? Because the coach is the one that does that. So think about that. Don't get caught up on the income claims and all the hoopla and everything else. Be an innovator instead of an imitator. Think about these things. Pay attention to your audience. Pay attention to your own dreams, your own soul, and pay attention to your top customers. Don't just do what everybody else is doing. Again, look around at what everyone else is doing and do the opposite. God bless you. I hope to see you on the next one. If you're looking, one of the things I love is storytelling, right? Um, we've all heard the saying, facts tell, stories sell. I've got a free ebook on storytelling that comes with a worksheet and everything. It goes through building a story brand framework and so forth, so you can understand how to really, build a good story and build a good story brand and so forth. And all you have to do is go to rondeering.com/storytelling. Also, if we're having a 30-day free trial on Kajabi. If you need a program that is all encompassing, that takes care of your contacts and automations and funnels and website and all of that stuff, I would encourage you to try Kajabi. Again, rondeering.com/Kajabi. I'm going to give you my Kajabi mini course and a free one-on-one coaching to help you get up and started. So in that 30 days, you can do a really accurate evaluation of whether or not it's for you. So God bless you. I can't wait to see you on the next one.